What is there to even say? It has been quite some time since I streamed this game. I almost can't remember what it is. Europe something. Now we're back with a campaign that really I've wanted to do since the achievement was introduced, but we're going to do the Gold Rush run with my favourite nation in the game, the Great Horde. Formerly known as the Golden Horde, we're going to actually have to form the Golden Horde by essentially crushing Russia and grabbing a few token spots away from our Horde friends. Yeah, they're my favourite nation for a lot of reasons. Let's just jump right into it, shall we? Yes, this better count for achievements, and this will be Very Horde. Why do we call it Very Horde? Well, because we're playing on very hard mode, as we always do, but I want to emphasize that for Great Horde, because Great Horde is such an easy nation to play on normal mode. But when you play on very hard mode, it's... yeah, well, I'm sure we'll soon find out. Not expecting to do this in the patented one-shot technique. Maybe more of a Theodoro one-shot. Okay, so why do I love the Great Horde as much as I do? Their position is great. They're surrounded by plenty of big, strong people that you're going to need to bash brains in pretty quickly. It's a high aggression nation to play. It's Horde. It starts a decent army. It starts with some okay-ish provinces and just targets everywhere. So many faces just beat in from the very start. Truly the ultimate country in my books. It's not the strongest, far from it. Honestly, I would rather go with Kazan. They have far better ideas. They start with a gold mine, and they can start by crushing the Great Horde. That's all well and good, and I think we're in a better position to actually slay Muscovy early on. But we're not playing as Kazan because they are not my favourite nation. That honour goes to the Great Horde. There's a lot of different openers you can do with these guys, and a lot of it depends on what the nations around you do. So we'll just have to play it by ear, won't we? I have two initial targets. I want Crimea to die and I want Ryazan to die. And a lot is going to depend on opinions here. So Ryazan, thankfully Muscovy is hostile towards them. And, well, Ryazan might be friendly to them, but I don't think that's going to be turned around. When it comes to Lithuania, Lithuania is neutral, Ryazan is friendly, but Lithuania hate the Great Horde, so okay. Ryazan could well get protection from Lithuania, who knows, but it certainly won't come from Muscovy. Crimea is another problem child, depending on who they become friendly with, and the answer seems to be absolutely nobody. So that's kind of good. That tells me Crimea probably won't get an early friend, and Lithuania is very unlikely to guarantee them because, well, Crimea is looking at them with hungry eyes, so let's keep that in mind. I like Tatan's idea, which is kill Ryazan, kill Crimea, kill Odiev, kill everyone. I would love to do that. Now, to get the Gold Rush achievement, I have got to... man, I've got a lot of achievements that I need to get. There we go, reform the Golden Horde by 1500. Seems easy, right? Well, we'll have to do what exactly? Get a whole bunch of core provinces, and we also have to have Tver, Moskva, Ryazan, Vladimir, Yaroslav, and Suzdal. That is this. So the heartland of the Rus. Don't need Novgorod, you know, they're kind of cool characters. I wouldn't mind being their friend, but that's rather unlikely. So what was I saying? I'm going to need to kill Ryazan pretty early on. I think that's what we're getting at. I'm going to make my way over there and try to slay them as fast as I can. I want Crimea dead as well. I want a good advisor. Discipline seems worthy enough of my time, because we need to grab all the mill that we can. Boy, do we need that mill, because if we fall behind in it, we're going to have a very bad time. Construction cost is increased. That's not a bad thing, because I won't be building anything under the reign of Mohammed Genghis. Scholar would be good if I ever wanted to keep this guy alive for any length of time. I do not. Don't forget about Crimean Marching event. Kill Crimea ASAP. Oh, I remember that one. Right. I'd love to just jump right into it, but I'm also petrified of making horrible mistakes, as I'm very good at doing. Tambov, give me a bunch of Eastern Swarm Cavalry. Yeah, I'm going to want those, but what I really want is that 3-shock general. I also want my Monarch as a general. 2 siege. I do not deserve that, but I'm taking it anyway. Okay, but for the real battling, we need Delgar BR on the case here. And I need to slaughter these Ryazans. I'm trying to think if there's anything worth my diplomats doing. I'd really like to not have to just suckle Ottoman teats all game, but I also don't want them rivaling me anytime soon, so it'd be a good call to improve relations with them, and probably a good call to improve relations with Novgorod in the off chance that they want to be my friend. Then again, Uzbek's a nice friend to dissuade Kazan and Nagai from attacking you. As long as Timmy doesn't see them as a good target, so that's good enough for me. Yeah, we will spend some time getting friendship with Uzbek just to keep our backs safe. So might as well fast forward to 1 month from now when I can actually start cracking some skulls. Don't really want to pay for this fort, but I will keep it around for a short while just in case I get ganked from the side. Tributaries on the Caucasian miners. I wonder if Caucasia would be interested in that. The answer is, haha, not quite. I think we'll look for tributaries after the initial push is done. Push, push, push. So, as states go, you are very interesting to me. Ryazan is as well. You know. The worst case scenario is the people around me make some good friends and I have a very hard time expanding around me. Why not grab a couple of claims on Crimea for coring cost with free dip? No. Who's got time to wait for claims when you are El Hordo? So, 1 month has passed, which means we can declare wars. Neither of my targets have made any friends, whereas I have. So straight away we say that Ryazan is someone that we certainly do not like. We extend the same courtesy to Crimea, because we can't make rivals at war, we might as well do that. It's tempting to do the same to Lithuania, it's also tempting to do Muscovy, but we will do Muscovy in due time. Muscovy's enemy... they've already allied Denmark. Well, this is going to be a run where unpleasant things probably happen to me. Ottomans have actually rivaled Byzantium. On very hard mode, Byzantium can punch hard enough to do that. Maybe not just on very hard mode? I couldn't tell you. I'm not going to rival either of these guys because I don't want them to think of me as even more of a threat than I already am, so I might as well stick it to big old Muscovy. So what now is going to happen? Well, I'm certain they're not going to attack into me with these incredible advantage that I have here. But I do want to roll over Ryazan and do it quickly, so let's just pull that trigger. Nothing else I have to worry about. Any people here that I want? Well, production efficiency guy would maybe almost pay for himself. And I do really need that admin. But can I really afford a ducat a month? I don't actually know. Oh well, whatever. Let's worry about advisors later. For now, there is conquering to be done. I don't want to jump in just yet because I need to make these early wars pretty damn efficient. You might reasonably say, why worry so much about efficiency, Jake? Just roll over them. Well, manpower is super important for the Horde early game. Let's get that royal marriage. I can't see a good reason not to. It doesn't hurt us in any way, really. I want to utterly curb stomp you, Ryazan. But if he moves into Tambov, then my swarm cavalry are going to be in a bit of danger, so I should move on in a bit. That's what I like to see. Let's also stop him from making more units. Don't want to drink too much attrition here, but there's a lot of things I want and don't want. Alright, so he's actually going to Ryazan. It's really quite tempting just to march in and kill him. He's craven too. So even though I don't have the full shebang... No, I think I will actually full shebang this guy. I mean, why wouldn't I? I have something resembling a plan. But on the 11th of January, I really need to declare war on Crimea before he makes any friends as well, so this has got to be pretty clinical. Which is why I need this guy dead nice and quick. So hopefully these two don't, you know, team up and give me one hell of a bad time. But yeah, Crimea's got to go. there's just the slightest of chance that they could make some friends that I really don't want them to do. So it's going to be a tribal food on Crimea to make that cheaper to take. So yeah. Let's get this stuff rolling early, shall we? That guy won't be ready until February, but I still need to make my way there. And as expected, you're going over to Tambov. Now, I don't want you in Tambov. Can I convince you to not be in Tambov? That's what I thought. You fool. I want you to just stay right where you are until my reinforcements come and I can wipe the floor with you. Yeah, those are reinforcements, all right. We got 17, he's got 10. Although cavalry can flank better than most. I mean, is it a river crossing into Ryazan from here? It is not. Might be an idea to get my cavalry in first, so the cavalry is the one dealing all the damage. I'm gonna go with that, actually. So if we do it like this, the cavalry arrives a day early. Might backfire, there's always a chance that it does, but I'm going to try this anyway. And he still has no general and he's craven. This is pretty good for me. So there we go, the cavalry actually get the frontal assault there, which means I don't flank quite. Oh god, he rolled a 9-0 in the fire phase. That's going to really hurt my cavalry. But we annihilate him in the shock phase, which is exactly what the cavalry was in there for. Lithuania has guaranteed Ryazan's independence, which is something I was afraid of. That's why I struck as early as I did. When it comes to Crimea, they got 15,000, so I need to really ravage this guy. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Wow! That went better than anticipated. Those losses are minuscule. And we don't take so much attrition either. Alright, good job, lads. Get it together, drop off the most battered guy you have. The rest of you make your way to Tambov. And yeah, you guys move down as well. Now I just want to keep Ryazan under house arrest for a little while. What I need to do is rout the Crimean army as quickly as I can as well. I want to keep a close eye on Odiev and also a close eye on Muscovy, because Muscovy's action is going to be very important to me. Ah, it feels so good to be back in the Horde play. Playing Horde is the way to play this game. Says me. Alright, we don't have a whole load of maneuver, so it's probably a clever thing to split up our army just a little bit so we don't drink the attrition. Horde land is pretty horrible for supply limit, so let's not push our luck here. There go the filthy Crimeans. They're probably going to make a march on Astrakhan, which is okay in my books. And those cavalry that I was queuing up, pretty much done. So Crimea has a pretty rubbish leader and very little cavalry. I just hope he's not building much more. So ideally I could knock out this 15 stack with 17,000 of my own. And would you look at that, we have more than the doctor ever ordered for that. I wonder what he's doing though. Got a lot of free diplomats that I should probably be using, but Muscovy's going for Annex Ryazan. That could actually work to my benefit if they declare war on Ryazan and help him with this siege. It would actually help me a ton. But are there any relations I should worry about, or even think about? Well, for that I want to look at alliance offers. Circassia as if. Yeah, none of that's looking good for me. But if I improve relations with Circassia, well, I can already get them as a tributary. I'll want that when I'm no longer at war, if it can even come to that. Would not hold my breath. Timmy would make an alright friend, so why don't we improve relations with him as well? Otherwise, though, I'm just eyeing up Crimea for a whole load of whoop-ass. I wonder if I can just bum rush in on him. He has no maneuver, so I can pretty happily cross over rivers here. He's going to Teen. Yeah, just you wait there, buddy. I'm on my way. I don't think he knows what he's doing. I'll just split myself up a little bit so I don't drink attrition at all. Because manpower and money, they're both huge concerns for me in this early game. Of course it could just all go down the tubes extremely quickly. You never know with this one. Especially when Muscovy is on the rampage. Muscovy is so incredibly strong in very hard mode. Look, he's just throwing his armies around. He's an important guy to me, but I should extend the same courtesy to Novgorod. Krobin says, by the way, I recall you saying AI should only use counter-espionage on you if you get caught. It's currently bugged, am I remembering that right? Yeah, that'll be fixed in the Cradle release if my memory is not completely bonkers. Okay, this is pretty good. I think Crimea's going to get caught here. By me, of course, because I'm a monster. So as soon as he's locked in, I'm going to kapow right in his face. And there he is. But not just any old kapow. I don't want to reinforce. I need a crossing penalty, though. But I also want to annihilate him with horses. I think it's better to annihilate with horses than not. So what's the best way to do this? The best way is to do something that I actually haven't done in a long time and really should fix myself doing, and fix him with attack him with the most efficient battle stack, which is 11 of my own. Well, no, all of my cavalry, of course, and as many infantry as it takes to have 15 plus 4, which is 19, right? I'm not getting my numbers wrong. Of course not. So 19 ensures that all of my cavalry will attack him, and a whole bunch on the sides are going to flank him half to death. That is what I want. We'll see if it works out. As for these other guys, if I lose this battle, then luck is definitely not on my side. But the other guys should really make their way over here so we can stop him from recruiting more units. This is going to backfire if he gets in there and out fast enough, but there's no way he can be that fast. There's just no way. So I should annihilate this sucker. Jake is a 743 out of 1000 cav, better than 1000 inf. In my eyes, yeah. Okay, so he got an amazing fire round. So he's kind of shooting my horses to death. But our shock round is just going to squish him, watch. 2000 losses, 1800 losses. And squish. Man, it feels so good to be hoarding again. I wish I could adequately explain, but the English language was not made that good. So I'm actually going to squish up my infantry regiments because I don't want to be wasting precious manpower taking care of those guys. I will, however, have my squishy infantrymen take and take and take. And I have these guys going 1, 2, 3. And then I should be able to hold down Crimea. Now I'm actually going to focus on Ryazan first. Or will I? Who to focus on, Crimea or Ryazan? Is Scots capable of describing this feeling? Probably just muckelty mechty me. That would do it just right for me. Okay, I have to weigh up my options here between annexing Ryazan or Crimea, and I want to kind of explain what I'm thinking here for a change. Ryazan and Crimea, I want to scorch both their lands into dust because I need to generate as much monarch points as I can to try and keep up in tech. However, I will probably want to annex Ryazan first because what I truly want is to get feudalism, and Ryazanian lands have feudalism. I will probably sit on Crimea for a long time with that in mind, but another problem is I actually want to release Ryazan as a subject because I can't handle his revolting lands, and it's not likely to stray into enemy territory. So, tricky decisions to be made there. But I think I could get feudalism just with his lands. I should try to prioritize feudalism in any case because I don't want to spend 50% extra just to get these techs. So I am willing to debase as hard as it takes to get the treasury to do that. So with that in mind, yes, I'm going to sit on Crimea and annex Ryazan. It's a shame that Muscovy doesn't want to play ball with me here. But I am not foreseeing any immediate dangers to me. Also, I'm not going to have you guys sit around in Attrition City. I really hope that Crimea have not recruited any units on their capital. That would make my life rather sad. I don't need as many units as I have here either. Now the problem with Crimea, and to a lesser extent Ryazan is right here, first country I ever streamed. Oh man, look at all those Ottoman cores. What are they doing there? That was a funny joke. They got capital forts, which is pretty hard when you don't have cannons. It's even worse when it's a coastal one and you do not have any navy whatsoever. So you place Crimea under lock and key first. We can move over to Yudishko when the need arises. Get up to Tambov. I want Ryazan cooked. I can take Odeyev if I truly need to, because if Muscovy doesn't land some blows on Ryazan, they might end up going for Novgorod, which would make Odeyev not join them, or rather make them not join Odeyev. So bonus to being a horde, massive view over the whole world. It's pretty awesome. So there he goes, he's trying to recruit units, but I just don't agree with that. I'm happy to move you over because these guys will finish up and I just move them around. Knicker knacker. Oh yeah, and then there's this fort of mine that I'm not even sure I want to have to pay for. So, farewell. I just hope I don't get ganked by Nagai. But Nagai have no friends, making them a really nice target for me right now. I should probably tell Timmy that I'm actually quite fond of him. I just hope he doesn't break away. But on very hard mode, the Timurids have a way of just staying together really well. And look at Uzbek. That's a relatively large army for them to field because their land is piss poor. It's revolting, it's autonomous. It's just not a good country to be. That army maintenance is costing me an arm and a freaking leg, even though it's just 20 units. Cavalry's expensive, you know. It's really, really expensive. I would like to loot for more of what I need, but that's just not happening. So you might think I'm taking it a bit too cautiously slow. Well, that's just because I'm being cautiously slow. There's not much more to read into it than that. What'll I do with you guys? I think I will just splat you together. Leave that guy out of the question. And I need 9,000 units to siege this, which is pretty preposterous. Ridiculous. So what are we going to have? 9,000 and the remnants there. Looks good. We should be able to tank even a outbreak. Fortunately, although he's useless at just about everything else, Muhammad can really break through the walls in a siege. That's why we're keeping him around. I'm going to get all the loot from these places when I burn them to the ground anyway, so I might as well just pull these guys back. And honestly, I don't feel the need to be paying my guys all that much money for what they do. Jake, do you have any extra limitations on your campaigns, like only horses? By the way, happy to see you stream. Repost from Christopher1. What? Okay, I would like to not ally the Ottomans. I haven't put that in... No, that's one that's not going down in writing, but I still would rather not ally the Ottomans. What do I have? 6, 7, 8, 9. I actually have enough to lay Crimea under siege at the same time. I'm just querying whether or not that's a good idea. The answer is it's probably a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there's this guy for 10. Even though he doesn't really reinforce that well. Ah, what the hell, we'll do it. I mean, something's got to make Crimea go. That said, I mean, I'm just in no hurry. If Crimea gets attacked by another nation, they might even help me out. That said, nobody is champing at the bit to fight them, but if they were to hop on Crimea, I would not be opposed to the help. Then again, this army could easily crush Odiev when I get up here. Muscovy is just clearly not doing anything, despite being militarist, so that's okay. Ottomans are simply the France of Anatolia, Jake. It is true. I mean, I suckled from their teats very hard in the Rostov campaign. But hope was hard to come by back then, so I'm not going to beat myself up too much for it. One could even say it was fairly hopeless. Happy about the lack of war exhaustion. It's really only the attrition that's doing me in, and do me in it shall. Sadly, our general's not too hot at it. If only you could name generals. Maybe I shouldn't shill the game too much. It becomes a bit obvious after a while. So okay, getting both sieges done at the same time. Didn't see that coming, but Ryazan's coming along super nicely, courtesy of Muhammad. Check the viewer count after half an hour, Jake. I am trying to keep that out of my head. Viewer reduction strats have gone really successfully for a long time now. Unfortunately, I just can't find a way to stream Europa that actually keeps it down. Faking out to other, clearly superior games tends to work, but Fitkinamindi. I don't think I'm going to waste any time with Ryazan. I'm going to integrate and probably not immediately burn. In fact, I need to hold off on the burning, because the higher the development, the more it's going to affect feudalism. Alright, so Muscovy is grinding Novgorod to dust, which is all the more reason I want this done fast. Novgorod, as usual, completely failed to make any good friends, so this is actually going to make Muscovy super strong again. And he called in... He did not call in Denmark. That's interesting to me. Everyone's been going on about Doki Doki Whatsits Club for quite some time now. Alright, Ryazan actually fell surprisingly fast, which means I can just eliminate them and take all their money. But I want to see what's going on here with Odiev first. Oh, that's interesting. I hope Odiev goes up there so I can just sneak in for the kill. I should probably just wipe this guy out, but I mustn't burn it. I'm going to eat quite a bit of corruption and stuff, but at least I get a chunk of ducats from the guy. That's good, at least. And the nice thing about doing this is that I get tribal conquest on Odiev. So tell me more about institutions. Unfortunately, it's just not quite enough. I see the autonomy is really high around here. And if I burn it down, it's going to get even worse. I could eat up Gizzy. He would give me a bit more land, but it's a mountainous fort that I would have to capture. Odiev should be enough if I secure them, but it can be hard to fight them so quickly. Local noble! That's pretty bad for me. Lithuania, who hates my guts, is already eyeing me up and wanting to kill me. Why not lower the autonomy if you're going to release it? Well, I mean, I can't currently do that since I'm at war, and it wouldn't have any effect on these territories. So forget that, is what I'm saying. I would love to just stroll in and crush Odiev, but Novgorod would get involved at least for a little bit. What I could do, though, is transfer CG McSiege guts over here. Give you the better guy, because this siege takes forever and a day. On you go, lad, and I'm going to do this to delay the siege tick, because I'm much more likely to get a better tick once CG McSiege is here. Alright, Mohammed the Sieger, get to work. You're a disgrace. Couldn't you defeat Lithuania at steppe terrain and make him return Crimean cores for conquest later? That's really wrong in a lot of ways. Fighting Lithuania on very hard mode is a huge undertaking for the Great Horde. Just winning would be obscenely hard. And let's have a look at our good friend Litauen here. Look at, he's got a force limit of 43. We are currently struggling to afford 20 force limit. So there's that to consider. As soon as Novgorod won't help Odiev, I'm marching in and killing them. But I'm kind of disheartened that our good friend Muscovy isn't crushing Odiev, and that Odiev isn't strolling into Muscovy. There's a lot of things I don't like about that. Timmy, sadly, doesn't want to be our friend, but it's very difficult to get allies on very hard mode if they don't border you. And if they do border you, then it's the usual difficult to get allies, because they tend to just want you dead. So, reconquest of Velts, but Muscovy is likely going to take all of this and this, because they are very greedy. Jake, then there's that awesome growing corruption. Yeah, corruption's growing, it's expensive to weed out, but I guess it's cheaper now than it will be later on when I have even more development. But I'm going to be debasing like a madman later. Okay, great, Odiev is sodding right off. Don't want to fight when Novgorod gets involved, that just complicates matters. What I need is for Novgorod to actually start losing out. But if Muscovy appears here and starts marching on Odiev, then I'll probably want to jump into the rescue. As in, to rescue that land for myself. Disease outbreak, I think, happened down here, maybe? Oh, wow! Odiev rethought that one in a hurry. It's woods, so I wouldn't actually get much of a bonus to fighting here. Occupied and besieged provinces is really helping out. Keep on keeping on, Muscovy. I don't like cheering them on, but better the devil you know. Jake, any plans to play more Stellaris? Oh, baby. Did you see the latest Stellaris dev diary? I'm going to answer your question in the form of a question by asking you that. Okay, there we go. Novgo screwed is not going to help out. Wow, occupied and besieged provinces is giving a huge malice. Just about everything of value is... Didn't Novgorod used to have a fort on Neva? Or was that exchanged for the one on Luki? Because Neva's not so useful if they have Novgorod. I mean, I would love to fight... Well, I'd love to not fight Odiev. In an ideal situation, Muscovy does it for me. Regardless, though, Odiev should be mine. Jake's star-based power. There we go. I'm not saying Stellaris is not my cup of tea, but there's only so many hours in the day, and if I have to choose between the Grand Strat games, then you better believe it's EU4 I'm going to. Alright, do you really want to fight me? He really wants to fight me? I mean, I am totally not up for fighting you in the woods, because that's your advantage. I'd rather lure you into Tula. Hey, I'm at war with your enemy. You want to have military access? Of course you don't. Why is Cochin so important to me? Oh, right, I have Dishonored Alliances as a pop-up. Because those are obviously very important. Okay, what is he up to? Maybe I don't even want to know. Or maybe I want to fight him around here. There's a lot of woods, though. That's farmlands. I guess I could just crush him there. But I also don't want Muscovy coming in and sniping Odiev. Similarly, I don't want Odiev causing me trouble here. Well, the obvious solution is to plant a single unit on Odiev and then chase him down with these guys. Now where's he going from there? Hopefully not back to Odiev. That would just make my life miserable. What is he doing? He's just running away. Who runs away from his problems? Well, this guy clearly. But he's running right into farmlands where I can just obliterate him. It's a shame I have to use my units like this, but anything that stops him from harassing my others. Does Muscovy like Odiev enough to enforce peace? They're at war. So no. Alright, hopefully I get a good shock phase. I mean 7 ain't bad, but 9 is pretty terrifying. I mean, I know I'm going to win these, it's a question of how much can I win by. I would like to have near flawless victories so I don't have to soak up so many losses. Thankfully, I won't be losing out on the... You gonna help me with this siege guy? No? Okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. Jake, you never set up your merchants. Hot damn, I'm losing out on potential money here. Get collecting, and you're already collecting in Kiev, which I suppose is fine. I'd be pulling from Samarkand if I could reach it. But I can't. I could be making almost 10% more trade income. It's not like me to miss out on 0.15-ish ducats per month. Which really adds up, you know. Right, it's a shame that I'm drinking the corruption from this land that I've taken. But I really would quite like to have feudalism. So I will have feudalism. What'll I do with you guys, though? Probably just merge you up so I can send you guys up there. Then all can be well, and I don't need to pay my units quite so much. Yeah, just the corruption from holding onto this land is costing me a ducat a month, which is pretty terrible. But at least Odiev are going to stop wasting money on an army and start wasting money on giving it to me in this peace deal that I'm going to take. Okay. Nagai will probably be next to die. I would love to just bum rush Muscovy. Emphasis on bum. But it's not going to happen when they have the entire... well, the entirety of these guys on their side. And the lack of a PLC is problematic for me as well, because it means I have no chance of just getting friendly with Poland and having Poland and Lithuania crush Muscovy for me. That and Muscovy is about to become a horrible machine. He'll fight Kazan, which means fighting Timmy as well, but that's not going to be enough. Kazan needs some bigger, meatier friends, but they hate my guts. What can I do to help? I could have Chagatai not hate me as well, that would be nice. Considering I'm going to crush my way over here, and the people that won't like it are going to be Kazan, Nagai, Timmy, and Uzbek. Timmy I'll have high relations with, and hopefully an alliance. Uzbek I'll have an alliance with. Yeah, I'm just going to eat these two guys as fast as I can, that's the dream. Jake, Golden Horde, what a delight. As I said before, the Golden Horde is my favourite country. Golden Horde in this case being synonymous with Great Horde. Actually, I should think about this. Crushing the guy is likely to make Kazan unhappy, and vice versa. No, as long as I'm making, as long as I'm allied with Uzbek, and Nagai is... Hey, if I border Timmy, I might be able to get an alliance. It's not impossible. It's just kind of unlikely. Especially if I can make QQ my, my enemy as well, which I'll probably do. Ottomans are also not being particularly fast right now. I know it's only been 2 years, but that's still not very fast. Conquer the Levant. What are they on about? Point is, I'm going to turn around and curb stomp the guy as quickly as I can. Also, goodbye Horde Unity. Don't need you. I'll get you back in a heartbeat. And let's not pay for this useless fort. Why was I even paying for it? I don't know. Oh well, so much for their being peaceful. They're going to make their way to the Levant one way or the other. So I need these two sieges to finish up, and that will allow me to get feudalism, hopefully, and then go on a warpath against Nogai. Don't you need Uzbek land, the high dev land? Well, yeah, I will need it. But killing hordes, even on very hard, is not very hard. Oh right, these guys demand more of my land because I have More land, okay. It's not easy to do, I'll probably just give them this piece of crap. Can you release vassals if the states hold their land? I can't remember. Honestly can't remember. I'm pretty sure you can. So there you go. Doesn't actually change anything autonomy-wise, so that's no problem. Jake, are you threatened by the Ottomans? Would be 20 plus reasons for an alliance. With who? You're not really getting at anything there. Maybe with Timmy is what you mean. Actually, you rivaling Timmy is a problem. Yeah, we'll see what goes down. So I need Odiev and Crimea to fall. Crimea, it's never a quick one. I think the best chance you can get without any modifiers is plus 14 if you is plus 14% chance of victory. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that I take Odiev first, and I'm not going to call for pizza on this war because it was a conquest of Crimea, which I'm not doing at all right now. In fact, he's busy blockading me, which is a bit of a bummer. And I'm hemorrhaging money, which is another bummer. Jake, if you need tips about the game, I hear that the game director is in the chat. I wouldn't want to listen to any old GD. When you work on a game, your own skill level for that game plummets. It's a curse, and all devs fall for it. Honestly, I would like to be fighting more wars right now, but I think we'll keep it as it is. Jake, can you explain how the game determines if you're threatened or not? Even if you've manually set the threatened attitude. No, I cannot. An explanation would probably have to be relatively in-depth, and I couldn't give you that. Thankfully, the Ryazanian separatists are taking their sweet-ass time at wanting to rise up. Hopefully, good old Odiev will give me what I need. Because, yeah, it doesn't really spread. But Odiev is 9-hole development, which is, yeah, should be plenty, right? Alright, the race is on. Crimea versus Odiev. Odiev has been ongoing for 280 days. Crimea has been going on for 615 days. A supply shortage in Crimea. Might be grasping at straws because Odiev's looking strong. And there we go. Goodbye. Well, Odiev, welcome to the family. Oh, thanks for the money. I really appreciate it. I mean, I have very little reason not to just take this dosh. Freaking ching. Well, isn't this an unhappy situation? Oh wait, no, that's very happy, in fact. Very, very happy. I'm only short a little bit of money to get that. You know, taking a loan would be the smartest thing to do here. Unfortunately, that's not how I operate. So the question is, how can I get that money really quickly when I have no income whatsoever? It is a mystery. Well, the answer is to debase, even though that's kind of painful, but I need that money. So I make 91 ducats, and it's going to cost me considerably more to root out all that corruption. But whatever gets me feudalism nice and early, so ka-ching. Yeah, worth it. It's good that we get that now, because what I'm about to do is get that money back by raising places into the ground. Because I don't want this land. Who would have ever wanted this land? Gets me that Horde unity back, which is also pretty amazing. Ah, this just feels so good. All done. So get together, guys. Alright, now Crimea can fall whenever it wants, and since I've gotten feudalism now, I just need to make my way to Miltech. Now, it is a question, should I be focusing on Miltech or not? And I'm gonna go with not, because I'm gonna want a ton of admin where I'm going, even if I can burn all I want. Still need to release all this land, but all in due time. Like I said, Crimea has really got to fall. Hopefully my king doesn't die there, or my Khan rather. He might be utter garbage, but his heir is also really bad. As soon as the heir turns 15, I'm probably going to chuck him right into the ocean that we're soon going to be attached to, because, well, I demand perfection. Alright, Crimea, this is all fun and games for you, but I really need you to fall right now. Jake, keep Genoa for a renaissance. That's what I did, especially since Austrian stacks come one at a time from 10 to 20. I mean, I have no interest in this Genoese land. I mean, potentially Azov, since it's Sunni. And yeah, it is Crimean, but still, ugh. And they've rivaled me, so it's really not going to spread that well around here. Might even be worth my time. Oh, Genoa is also gunning down Crimea. Hopefully they will blockade it, but I'm not holding my breath on that one. Not that it even matters, because down he goes. So Crimea is down for the count, and I will not spare even a little bit of him. I really want that money, though. There is something to be said for leaving a province or two, since the money is really tempting. However, I really just want them removed from the map. I'll take my paltry 30 ducats and call it a day. And only Crimea will form a coalition. Well, it's hard to do that when you don't exist. It's also probably going to push me over the overextension limit. We can worry about that if we are future Jake. So I'm happy enough about that. Jake, vassalize Crimea after taking everything but one province, so you get to fight Genoa without the Habs. There is a case to be made for that, and it would let me get 2 Crimean cores. Well, no, 1 Crimean core, and I can take Azov for myself. But... Genoa is allied with Lithuania and Austria. I don't want them to call in Lithuania, promising, well... There's something to be said for that. Hell, there's a lot to be said for that. Okay, no, I can't do that, because it would make me be at war, and I need to release land. And if I don't release this land soon, I'm going to be eating horrible things. So this is fine as is. So freaking Ching, it's all mine. And as expected, we are... Wow, that's efficient. Still, the reason that we delayed that one so hard is that I really wanted feudalism. And I wouldn't have gotten feudalism because it wouldn't have been proportionally enough of my land. Like, this was enough for this, but once we added Crimea to my lands, proportionally, not enough feudalism. So what do I do with Crimean land? Well, I mean, it would be a good idea not to burn it, because it is my culture group and my religion, so it's pretty good for, you know, not burning down. But that's just not how we operate. We're a horde after all. I'm going to burn this stuff into the ground. Gives me plenty of monarch points, makes it cheaper to core. Hell, it's all pretty good. And it gives me a lump sum of cash, which I could really do with right now, because hordes are poor, hombre. I'm curious what to do with that Crimean fort, however. Kind of want to keep it. It will kill the devastation in the area and be a nice focal point for if I get attacked. But as I've stressed before, my economy is liquid garbage. I'll probably just make do without forts for now and pray that Lithuania don't come steaming right into me. This is a real reason why I would love to have that Ottoman alliance. I mean, I would really like to have that Ottoman alliance. Hard to put into non-Scottish words how much I want that. Okay, well I'm at peace, which allows me to do a few things. One is release that country that has been making me hemorrhage a lot of, you know. There we go. And additionally, I'm going to give him Oka. He doesn't like me for now, but he will. Oka. And I did burn all this land to the ground, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Ryazan was 13 back in the day. Would have been a horrible waste if I hadn't. But it would be exactly the kind of thing I forget, because I'm very forgetful when playing this game. So there we go, I've got a nice subject here that I am very likely going to feed a bunch of Muscovite land to. There's something to be said about making Ryazan a march, because I'm going to need all the help I can get, and him having even better fortifications would be nice too. Does he hate me? No, well, there's the raised our provinces modifier that I kind of forgot about. But to make a march or to not make a march, that's the question. Since this is the gold rush, I probably would benefit from making him in a march. What does chat think, you know? Maybe a Ryazan march is for the better. His fort would hold out longer and he'd bring more men, and at this early point, boy will I need more men. Nice subject, only slightly burned. Well, whilst thinking about that, I can consider how much I want to core this land. Fortunately, it's nice and cheap. That war exhaustion and corruption is pushing up the cost, but I really clamped down on it. Who normally wins in Muscovy versus Novgorod, or is it roughly even, says Pikeman? Yeah, it's roughly even, as in Novgorod gets squished evenly flat by the endless march of Muscovite soldiers. Look at these freaking numbers, though. There we go. Muscovy alone is bringing 35k to the mix, with a force limit of 52. Not to mention all of Muscovy's subjects. Why don't we look at Muscovy's subjects? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? So who do we have? We're going to have Rostov and Belo Ozero. Belo Ozero, 6,000. Yaroslav, 7,000. Tver, 12,000. Oh, well, they're not a subject, so never mind them. Rostov, 5,000. You know, it's a lot of units. They just curb stomp Novgorod because he's not smart enough to seek out Polish protection. Then again, he probably did not have the time to do that. Yeah, Novgorod is a sitting duck to poor old Muscovy. Muscovy can lose, but it's the exception that proves the rule. Alright, so what was my my final call on this one? I don't actually excuse me, care about the devastation around here, so I'm just going to eradicate that fort. Can't really afford it right now. Kinda want to mince Theodoro, but it might be better just get him as a tributary. He's hostile towards me, just wait until he's scared of me. Rawr. Some of these guys really don't want to be my tributary anymore. All that neutrality. Tell me, what is it that drives a man to be neutral? Beware the idolized march. Could have made Ryazan a march before giving him a province. I mean, is that currently not on the table for some reason? And yeah, they've got they got revanchism because I kicked the snot out of them. Okay, what am I even meant to do here? I think attacking son of a gun, the allied Timmy. And now Timmy has blocked me off from both Kazan and Nagai. That's troublesome for me. That's pretty troublesome, so I need to look for where else to go. Gizzy Maluk holds an answer. Gizzy has no allies. And if we look down to Shirvan, well, Shirvan is Shia, which is disgusting, but I could burn and return, and or tributize, but they have a capital fort as well. This all looks so different. I've been playing with the cradle version for so long now that this is all just hocus pocus to me. Alright, let's make some cores. We've been needing those for a wee while anyway. And my estates demand yet more land because they're just like that. They demand 30% of me. That's a shame. I will probably try to really clamp down on the amount of... they already have all